Okay, here we are. The worst day of my life. Welcome back to Card Corner. Today we are doing everything. I moved into a new apartment and that means that I have a lot of playing cards to unpack. Maybe around 400, I don't know. I've never counted, but that's what we're gonna do today. I figured since I need to unpack all these boxes, these aren't even all of them, by the way, I might as well take inventory while I do it. So that's what we're gonna do over the course of definitely at least a few days, possibly a few weeks. We are slowly going to chip away at my collection, put them in their display cases, and see what I got. Now, if you hear something just insane in the background and you think to yourself, Jake, is that a wild animal or a 14-year-old? Close, they're college kids. We moved next to a fucking college. I didn't think about it. They're drunk in the streets. I have this big piece of paper. I have several big pieces of paper. This is what we're gonna use to keep track of them. I got a pink pen, good old black Sharpie. And then once I find some other colored pen in a different box somewhere, we'll also use that because we're gonna keep track of how many decks that I have that are sealed and how many decks that I have that are open. We'll have a total deck number, we'll have an open deck number, and we'll have a sealed deck number, okay? I think the easiest thing to start with is my curio cabinet. Now, as you see, I have this giant, beautiful curio cabinet right here. Over here, I have another beautiful cabinet. This one's a little more complicated, but it has these lovely drawers that fit playing cards perfectly in them. I also have other things. This is an old vintage Coca-Cola cassette tape player holder that I transformed into a card display holder. That's gonna go up on the wall there. And I also have this gorgeous tiny little display cabinet here. This is at Goodwill for $8, brother. It's also gonna go on the wall somewhere. These are definitely gonna be last. All right, first box, we're gonna start with the box that says brick boxes. I'm just gonna start also with a Fontaine section.
Fontaine!
Start off with this one. I already know what this one is. This is gonna be my Fontaine Babylon collector's case. Bada bing, bada boom. So, all right, this is gonna be so fucking tedious. Babylon. One sealed deck of Babylon. We're gonna do the tally mark system because there's shit everywhere. So eventually, you know, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's all the Fontaine Babylon I have, and then I'm gonna open something else, and then there's gonna be another one in there. Just doing Fontaine right now. I gotta do it by section, or I'll lose my mind. Here is one Nickelodeon brick box filled with various decks. All right, my actual Fontaine Nickelodeon with the Nickelodeon decks in there. Damn good cards. Fontaine Variety brick. Fontaine Mystery brick. Fontaine Fantasies brick. Fontaine 5000s brick. Fontaine Army of Darkness brick. Missing half brick boxes. All right, let's see what's in the Fantasies box. 6 sealed blue, 5 sealed black, 3 sealed green, 3 sealed rip and dip, 2 slight. Oh, and we got 1 brain dead V2. I'm going for an easy one, the Army of Darkness. Got some Halloween decks. Wine. We got some holo decks. We got Carrots V2 in here. We got 1 cell. We got a guest cycling. Oh, that's my partner ringing the doorbell. We're sharing a single set of keys. All right, that's all I'm doing tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, we're back in hell. Is this a weird angle? Maybe. I don't know. Deal with it. I need a table to sort things, okay? Off camera, I just went ahead and wrote down every single goddamn edition of Fontaine that I own. 2 questions, probably. God damn, are there really that many Fontaines? And god damn, did you really buy that many? Yes. Shout out to Fontaine Archive for times like these. I also went ahead and marked down decks that I knew for sure I only had like 1 edition of, like the pink Fontaine. I only have 1 pink Fontaine. I also marked decks that I knew I only had 1 of and that I know I'm going to open. I marked that as open. Let's just get to it. All right, this is my Nickelodeon display case. It has one of each edition except for the Ren and Stimpy. This is the gilded edition in there. Okay, Jesus. All right, decks that I have two of. Pimlico, Pink Panther, Insect, SpongeBob, Carrots, V1, 1993, Watermelon. Decks that I have three of. Wine, Crazy Rat, Carrots V2. Decks that I have four of, Chinatown Market. The rest here are just single decks. Sesame Street, Blue Glitch, Botanical, Black Hollow, Good Go V2, Coral, Slime, Matt McCormick, Wild Thornberries, Bad Boy, Fellow, Babylon, USA, Gradient, Ribbon Dip V1, Raspberry, Sky Blue, Guess Market, Thumbprint, Teddy, Rave, The Population Black, Clay, Terrazzo, Cell Edition, Hacker, CGI. I just recorded a whole section that didn't record. Why? Because God hates me. That's why. Here's what I opened up and here's what I marked down on the list. We have basically this entire mini cabinet of solid open Fontaines. We got watermelon, we got safety, seafoam, cotton candy, slime, green, slight, broccoli, cranberry, pumpkin, denim, sky blue, gray, horchata, raspberry, black, blue, pink. And then we also have these open We also have these open hollow decks. We got the original hollow, we got amethyst, we got gold, we got kyanite, we got ruby, we got hollow, the rainbow, and then we got a black hollow, and then we have emerald. All right, we had a section of my video that didn't record with my mic on, and then we had a section of video that didn't record the video. If anything else goes wrong, I might just throw my phone into oncoming traffic. All right, as you can see here, we got a new list. Missing anyone, Komorebi. These are sealed modern decks in this package right here. So let's see what's in here. We're definitely gonna do missing next. You know, one day I'm gonna have a child, and I think it'd be really hilarious if for like the majority of its upbringing, it just wasn't aware of my hobby. And then one day it discovered on its own, they're like, Dada, do you know what cardistry is? And then I look at them and I say, come here. And then I open up like a secret room, like the goddamn bat cave. And just hundreds of decks appear in front of this child's very eyes. Okay, decks that I have three of. The CCC 2024 missing. Home 2 linen, base 1 linen. Decks that I have two of. Base 2 linen, base 1 smooth, base 2 smooth. Infrared Philadelphia, Fontaine Collage, Databend 4, Databend 8, Analog, Infrared Chicago, Pigment. Decks that I have one of. Base 3 linen, base 4 linen, base 3 smooth, base 4 smooth holy. Databend 10, Scotopic, Photopic, Holy, Collage Redux, Home 2 Smooth, Home 1 Smooth, Cobweb, Home 1 Linen. I lied, I have two Cobweb. Thermal, Gesture, Signature Base, Collage Construction, Ink, Thermal. Okay, so these missing decks are actually gonna go in this cabinet right here. All right, this is how it's looking. This is the missing section of this cabinet. Lost and insecure, you found me, you found me. All right, as you see, I'm doing more and more behind the scenes stuff just because there's so many boxes left. I've gone through so many cards and there's so many cards, you have no idea. Anyways, here's my Anyone collection right here. These are my sealed decks. These are the sealed Anyone decks. I'm keeping these separated because these are my to open and review Anyone decks. Yes, I have that many decks of Anyone that I need to open and review. Anyways, we got one Dan and Dave I don't know. I don't know if it's the smoke or the mirrors. This is the white edition. The first edition, I have 4 of those. I have 4 of these bad boys. These decks, I have 2 of each. I have the red 6006. I have the extra large red checkerboards. I have the ready-made Kiss. I have the Bomb V2. These I have 1 of. I have the green 6006, the midnight checkerboards, the yellow checks, the blue checks, the ready-made checkerboards, the black edition, the magenta edition, the yellow cap logos, the black 6006 playing cards, gray dots, purple 6006, black logo, brown logo. For the souvenirs, I have the Australian, UK, France, Korea. Cap logos, I have the purple, red, blue, black, gray. What colors are these? The really ugly ones, the purple and red and the beige and green. I have an extra large 6006. I have a Headlong into Eternity. I have a Runaway World. For dots, I have gray, green, Eclipse, purple, black. All right? Now put them in the cabinet. They just keep appearing. They just keep appearing. I found more. I have another deck of the purple 6006. Oh, I have the purple checkerboards. These are the showroom edition, I believe. I have the purple houndstooth. I have the red houndstooth as well. All right, now we're gonna start getting into multiple different companies. Gonna have less and less from each company. You know, we got rid of the big ones. We did Anyone, we did Missing, we did Fontaine. Also, my neighbors have been fighting. Like scream fighting, like they're going at each other's throats, and it's real interesting. I've never had to deal with neighbors who hate each other. Guys, just get a divorce, okay? It's not worth it for the kids, okay? The kids hate you too, okay? Make everyone happier. Give the kids 2 different birthdays, you know? Like, just they'll be fine. All right, starting with Como Rebby, we have the Hallmark playing cards. I have 6 of these. I have 4 Interlinks. I have 3 AFSM. I have 3 Awful Franks. I have 2 Sonos Brutalis. I have 1 each of the Jakey Franks, the Sonos Insight, and the Louisiana playing cards. Over here, I have some YGH. I also have a deck of Stable that I'm just gonna lump it. It's the same people. I have 3 What the Fish. I have 2 What the Fly V1. I have 1 What the Fly V2. I have a Ping Pong. I have the outfit playing cards from Stable. Then I have some Heaths. I have 2 Leonard Green Heathbacks. Then I have the original Heathback and a Hereafter. Over here, we have some Never Never. I have 1 Focus deck and 1 Flip deck. Then we have some Mano Santa. I have 1 deck of Alphabet, and then I have 2 Tic-Tac-Toes. Here we have some Goose. I have 2 Pride decks. I have a Susie, and I have a Susie Accordion Edition. And then we have 1 deck of Crimson Gordon playing cards. Also, I took a mental breather from organizing playing cards to set up some of my display things. So I'm gonna show you that right now. So I'm thinking of making this just the backdrop for my review videos now, so I wanted to make it look pretty. So we got some cool decks on here. We got the Monarch Chinese New Year edition, the Mandarin edition, one of those, something like that. We got Scope Sapphire, we got an Alt Box Kogan, we got a Red Grid, we have the Babylon display case. Of course, we have the Coca-Cola cabinet right here. So I have a vintage Coca-Cola carrier, as well as some vintage Coca-Cola ads from the 50s as some decorative posters. Right here, we have the mini cabinet with the Fontaines right there. And right here, we got a really cool vintage magician poster with some whispering imps right there. I got that somewhere. I don't know. It was just a random shop that I found. I'm probably going to be putting more stuff here, and over here I have a random OPC uncut sheet that I just kind of threw up there. All right, chat. These are the last of my sealed decks. You know what that means? That means we haven't even gotten to my open decks yet. Start with the big clumps. We got some Theory 11 over here. We have 5 each of the Jack Sellers playing cards. I have the Blackjack edition and the Amethyst edition. Some of my favorite playing cards ever, honestly. We got some sleeper decks in here. We got some decks that I feel like are heavily unappreciated, and Jack Sellers are one of them. I love Jack Sellers. I also have 3 Rare Bit Copper editions and 1 Lone Red Monarch. Next up, a company I feel like is completely forgotten about at this point, Pure Imagination Projects. Also, I feel like heavily underrated in the card scene. Their most famous decks are the Icon decks and the Les Méliès decks. So I got 1 each of the Les Méliès. I have a gray and I have a blue. I have 2 Lone Star playing cards. One of them is the Alt Box edition. I have a Rocket deck, and I have 2 decks of what are called El Retro playing cards. I know for a fact you've never heard of these. Also, one of my favorite decks of cards. They handle really, really well. I have 6 decks of blue Modern Field Jerry's Nuggets. I got like a brick of these for about $30 on eBay. Pretty sick. I told myself, these will be practice decks. Jake, you have hundreds of decks of cards. Those are your practice decks. Another throwback. We have some Gemini playing cards. We have the Blue Gemini Casino. We have the Superfly Stingray. And we have 2 Superfly Spitfire. Old school decks. Right here we have a half brick box from About Playing Cards. These are their struggle decks. We have 2 sealed each of the blue edition and the red, and then I have 1 open of each as well in here. I got 3 decks of Elsie the Cow playing cards. If you know, you know. These are vintage playing cards right here. OPC, we got a Cardsicle and we have a Raspberry. I have 3 decks of MK Ultra from Redacted. Here we have some Fulton playing cards. I have a bootleg Chinatown. I have a Vertigo. I have a Casino, the green and gold edition. I have an original October deck, and we have also the Dream Girl playing cards. This is a mix of Art of Play and Dan and Dave. We have the 2022 Cardistry deck. We have 2 original, that's right, the OG V1s of the Hi, My Name is Mark playing cards. We got Dreyfus Art. And we got numerous Smoke and Mirror reprints. We got a black V1 launch edition, and who knows which editions these are. Doesn't matter. Here's a big hitter. I have 3 of the original Echo playing cards. I got 3 Pareidolia playing cards. Love these cards, love these cards. They kind of feel like shit, but goddamn, they're so pretty, dude. All right, we got some verts. We got the Fall Winter 17, AKA the thinnest decks ever made. And this is the, I don't really remember or care what edition this is called. The P1, these are the gray and black ones, you know, those ones. More old school decks right here. We got the Daniel Mawson collection. We got some Hellions. We got some red Hellions as well. We got 2 OG rounders right here, and we got 2 pink rounders. They called these pounders in the promotional. Do you remember that in the promotional videos? They called these pounders. We got 2 decks from Joker and the Thief. We got the original logo playing cards and then their shitty black edition. Then we got 2 decks from House of Playing Cards. These are the white nautical playing cards. I don't expect you to know what these are. I got these with some knocks at the time. All right, next up we got some single decks. We got 2 Orbits. We got a V4 and we got a Mac Lethal edition. We have a True North deck from Enter Beneath. Rest in peace. They only put out 2 decks before they went under. This deck is pretty mid looking, but they feel really goddamn good. They handle fantastic. Classic, we got a Black Tiger deck. We got some Black Knocks. I don't know which edition. These might be V4, who knows, don't care. We have the Spring playing cards from Simple Stuff. One of the prettiest back designs I've ever seen on some of the worst stock. This deck feels bad. I hate the way this deck feels. I never use this deck because they just don't feel good to me, at least. We got a First Human deck from Dealer's Grip, the Dealer's Grip Dan and Dave deck. We got Gold Split Spades. We got an aerodynamics. We have a Z deck from December, boys. Hey man, think of a better name for your company. I believe this is like some sort of like chroma key deck. There's like chroma key elements to it. This came out a while ago. We got a 3-dot deck right here. These were a Kickstarter deck. We also got a Space Dunes deck from Square Up Cards. I also have their Mosaic cards lying around somewhere. They're in my to review pile, so I'm gonna include that right there. All right, cool. That's it. On to the open decks. Okay, here is the start of my open deck collection. We're gonna go through the missing cards right now. And then we have some Anyone, we have some Komorebi, we have some Goose, we have some Heath, we have some YGH. I'm just gonna do missing and call it a night for today. I can actually feel my mental health slipping. All right, so we have a Photopic, Scotopic, Databend 7, Infrared, CCC Base Deck, Home 1 Smooth, Base 2 Smooth, Collage Construction, Collage Redux, Databend 2, Scope, Base 1 Smooth, Base 4 Smooth, Base 2 Linen, Fontaine Collage, Pigment, Databend 8 Scope Sapphire, Base 1 Linen, Base 3 Linen, Base 4 Linen Holy, Fractal Carmine, Fractal Acid, Databend 4, Ink. I actually have 2 inks. Holy Signature Base. Base 4 Linen, Cobweb, Gesture, Databend 10, Analog. I also have 2 Analog open. Infrared Chicago, Home 1 Linen, Home 2 Linen. All right, I took a nap. I ate a huge bowl of mac and cheese, and then I ate an ice cream sandwich. I'm ready to live again. When's the last time you had an ice cream sandwich? Go get one, dude. All right, we're hopping back over to Fontaine. I just opened up all of my open Fontaine. This is where they go. I think this is gonna be easier than sorting through a bunch of other brands right now. All right, coolest decks first. Everyone knows that rule. Carrots V1, Carrots V2, Carrots V3, Goodco V1, Goodco V2, Chinatown Market, Guess Playing Cards, Guess Sticker, Guess Cycling, Dabs Milo, Pink Panther, Matt McCormick, Braindead V2, Halloween, Army of Darkness, Kogan, Babylon, FTP Black, Rip and Dip V1, Rip and Dip V2. All right, next up, mystery decks in order of coolness. Coolest mystery decks. The OGs, the futures. Window, Parrot. All right, that's all the futures I got. Next, coolest mystery drop. Fantasies. Fight me about it. Am I wrong? Overall, better than 5000s for sure. Better than Fever Dreams. Fight me. Oops, all jokers. Coral. Terrazzo. I still don't know how to say that word. Splatter. Cell. Pimlico. Discover Worlds. Discover Worlds are Gradient. Love the gradients. Okay, next up. Yeah, I'd probably say the Fever Dreams. Rave. 1993, Hacker, CGI. God damn it, I forgot about Clay. Clay from the Fantasies. Decoder. CGI and Decoder are possibly some of the worst playing cards I've ever seen. That's just me though. All right, next we'll do the 5000s. SPF, best deck in the 5000s. Fight me about it. At least in terms of the normal decks that you can get, right? Because we also got Heat Vision. Heat Vision's a banger. I don't care what you say. I love the Heat Vision. Crazy Kid, underrated deck. Fight! Fellow, also underrated deck. I love the Fellow. The rest I could more or less do without. Crazy Rat, so much potential, so little design. Play, it gives me a headache. Skank, it's the same thing in a different color, and it also gives me a headache. Trickster, it looks like Kermit. Insect, ugh, boring. Alien, even more boring somehow. Bad Boy, it can also kind of give you a headache. Teddy, not awful, but still kind of boring. USA, I don't even need to say anything. All right, we're gonna do some holographics next. Red Grid, Spiral, sick. Hollow SpongeBob, one of the worst decks of cards I've ever handled in my entire life. Fight me! OG Hollow, Black Hollow, Gold Hollow, Rainbow, Ruby, Emerald, Kyanite, Amethyst. Chat, what's worse, the current line of WJ decks, or at least the first line, or the Nickelodeon line, including Sesame Street. They have the same vibe, you know? Oh, forgot about this. This is an illusion pack. You know what? I like to cheat a little bit. I put the illusion pack in my solids cabinet because it goes with the denim, you know? SpongeBob, you can go in there. That's fine. Thumbprint, you're okay. Ren and Stimpy, one of the sickest back designs that Fontaine has. Too bad the rest of it is Ren and Stimpy themed. Rocco's, also very solid back design. Too bad it is Rocco's. Hey Arnold, also very, they had some pretty solid back designs. It's just a little goofy. Rugrats, pretty good. Thornberries, Ah Real Monsters, and Cat Dog. Cat Dog might be the worst deck of Fontaine's. Like design-wise. All right, we'll do some of the WJ decks. We got the Blue Glitch. We got the Botanical. We got the Casino. And you know what? I'm gonna save these 3 spots for when I have the Beef, Peach, and Flipper editions. Those are on my to open list. Now, what do we do about the decks that we don't really care about? Well, they get banished into hell. And by hell, I just mean up here, not in view. And those would be the Undercover Fontaines, the Casino Fontaines, also arguably one of the worst decks Fontaines ever made. And then we'll put Sesame Street there too. Cat Dog, All Real Monsters, Thornberries. Those all deserve a place in hell. All right, these decks too are gonna go in the solids. We got an Aqua Berry, we got 2 Wine, and we got 2 Blue open. Okay, those are all of my Fontaines. That means this list is done. Also, I was so delirious that I wrote multiple editions down, so I had to cross them out. Anyways, this is the list. These are all the Fontaines I own. I am not going to count them up yet because you never know what might be hiding in a box. So I will tally up everything once all of my cards are out. All of them. But yeah, we've made it through Fontaine. All right, just gotta keep going. We got some Como Rebi decks here. Florence Sono's Hallmark, Sono's Insight, Louisiana, Awful Frank, Awful Jake, Awful Louisiana, Interlink, Sonos Brutalis, another Hallmark, AFSM, and Black Dog. All right, over here we have some Lotus in Hand decks. We have the Ether Duo, and we have this duo. I don't remember what edition it is. It's the orange and black one. We have a Ventus deck, Mesa edition. We have a Mirage deck. We have the Lubia playing cards, and we got an Echo V1. Over here we have some YGH. We also have the Stable Outfit playing cards, What the Fly V1, What the Fish, Ping Pong, Boys Choir, What the Fly V2. All right, we got some Goose. We got a Susie, 2020, Pride, Gate, Becky. We have some Heath, Budgie, Heath back V1, Heath back V2. Hereafter playing cards. Here are a few Strays. We got the Flip deck, the Focus deck from Never Never, and we got both editions of Gordon playing cards. All right, then we have some Anyone playing cards. Midnight checks, extra large checks, forever checks, ready-made checks, magenta and black. Blue checks. We got some logos. We got a brown logo. We got a blue logo. 2 black logos. We have some 6006 decks. We have the original, the green, the red, the black, the holographic. We have the Sabukaru collab, Ben Edgar, Yellow Cap, Last Laugh Dots, Bomb V2, and some Blur checkerboards. All right, for this chunk, we got a good amount of Dan and Dave, Art of Play, Fulton's playing cards, some Theory 11, some Pure Imagination projects, and some other miscellaneous. Let's start off with the Fulton's. October V1, Clip Joint, Dream Girl, Vertigo, Casino Miami Blue, Casino Brown, Casino Red, Casino Blue, Casino Orange, Casino Green and Gold. We have some Art of Play decks here. We have the 1 through 6 Damn Good Cards package. Eames Black, Eames Red, Dreyfus Art, Into the Weird, kind of an old throwback deck. Cybernetic, Lady Moon, Cardistry-Con 2022, Cardistry-Con 2017, and we have this plush block edition. It's an Art of Play crossover. Pure Imagination projects, we got a Lone Star, this deck called Splash, an El Retro, Le Méliès Blue and Gray, a Rocket deck, and a black icon deck. We have some Theory 11, purple and black Jack Sellers, copper Rarebit, Mandarin Monarchs, green Monarchs, a Midnight Knock collaboration, 2 red Monarchs, and 1 original Monarchs. Next, we have the Dan and Dave Company. We got a Hi, My Name is Mark, 2 original editions of their Bruce Lee playing cards, as well as a V2 of their Bruce Lee playing cards. We then have 4 editions of their mystery decks that they dropped last year. The decks in here are the DD1 Fulton cards. Those are the camera cards. We got a white clip joint, a red Makers, and an Antlers, a green edition. All right, next we have Smoke and Mirrors, including their collaboration decks. So we have the Anyone collection here. We have the white, we have the black, we have the red, green, and blue. We have the Dealer's Grip First Human and Last Machine. We have the red and blue Casino. These are old school. I don't remember exactly what edition these are. I believe they might be V7s, but this is the line that came out with the red edition, the first red edition, the Eco edition, and they called these Denim. And then we have the white and black reprints as well. Then we have some modern reprints. We have the V1 Black Relaunch Edition. And then we have a white and black, God knows what edition. These came out either in 2024 or 2023, I don't remember. But they're quite modern. And then some strays, we have an MK Ultra. We have a Space Dunes from Square Up. From Dealer's Grip, we have an Oliver and a Palm deck. From Mano Santo, we have a Tic-Tac-Toe and an Alphabet. And then we have some David Blaine cards. We have the gold split spades and the black red playing cards, both editions. Okay, these are the rest of my decks. This is it. This is all I have left. This is a pretty mixed bag. There are some categories, but I will say this is where it starts to get a little stinky, okay? There's gonna be some stinky decks in here. These are definitely like my older decks, you know? Some decks, you know, you get through like mystery drops or I don't know, I am sure there's a deck in your collection where you're like, man, I f***ing hate this deck and I don't know what to do with it. There's definitely a few of those. All right, we got some Orbits here. We got a V6, we got a V4, we got a Mac Lethal, we got a Christmas 22, and we got a Chroma Key. Next up, we got some OPC. We got a Slicers V2, we got a Cocoa Palms, we got a Twisters, we have a Mother Juice, Cardsicles, Peelers V4, we have a Squeezers V4, we have some Raspberries, we have an Exotic V2, and we got one sealed deck of Mother Juice in here as well. And they're all kept in this like half brick box that they did for Mother Juice. This was actually a Boston pop-up event. Let's get into the Illusionist pile. There's some sleepers in Illusionist. Okay, there's some classics like the Artifice deck. We got a blue, we got a white, we got a purple, we got a green, we got a black club. If you're gonna go back and use any Illusionist deck, the Artifice are pretty solid, at least for cardistry. As well as their bicycle decks, we got a Ghost deck, we have a black Ghost deck, we got a Tiger deck. All very solid classics. Although the black Ghost deck kind of sucks. I actually don't really like it that much, but the original Ghost deck, it's hard to beat that. Next up, we got an Arcane deck, the black edition. We got a white edition. Oh, this one's actually sealed. We got another white edition. This one's open. I've got an Infinity deck, and I've got a V1 Sultan Republic. Man, if only I had kept those sealed. Those actually ended up being pretty valuable. All right, I got a purple LTD deck. We have an Executive deck. I don't know if you remember the Executive deck from Illusionist. One of the most atrociously awful, ugly decks of cards I've ever seen in my life. These are horrible. We got Super Bees. We have a Perpetua deck. It's actually a somewhat recent deck from Illusionist, like within the last 5 years, I believe. I don't know. We got a Views deck. Pretty decent back design. Ugliest face cards ever. Then we got some Gaff decks. Yes, that's how old my collection goes back to. We have the Arcane Gaff deck. We have the classic Daniel Garcia and Wayne Houchin Ultra Gaff Bicycle deck. And this is the first bicycle gaff deck that they made. Obviously I lost the tuck box, so I just threw it in a normal bicycle deck and just wrote gaff deck on it. Oh man, so f***ing sick, dude. Continuing on with Illusionist, we have Daniel Madison decks. We have a red bordered dealers. We have an original dealers, gold revolvers, gold knights, gold rounders, pink rounders, hellions, red hellions, saints, martyrs, confessions, purple hustlers, and an orange hustlers. And then from Madison's like solo line, we have these decks. I believe they're called the Charlie Madisons. We got a red and we got a white. Kind of stupid. Not kind of stupid. They're pretty stupid. All right, next up I have bicycles. I have some bicycles. Some of these are cool. Most of them are bad. Let's start with the ones that are pretty cool. I got 2 Blue Seal red rider backs. Can't go wrong with those. Next up, I got some classic bangers. We got some dragon backs, the red and gold and the blue edition. Dragon backs are f***ing sick. Especially the blue edition. They're so rad. Here's one that's pretty decent. We got a red foil back. Those are just foil rider backs. We have yellow rider backs. I really like these. And I don't know what these are actually called, but I got them for $2 at a secondhand store. And they look like this. I like them. I think they're pretty cool. Kind of this like denim-y like color. What else? We got some normal bicycle playing cards. We got 3 red, 1 blue. One of my prized possessions, we have an astronaut Snoopy. Very, very cool deck of cards. I did a review on these if you want to check out that on my channel. All right, this is where it gets stinky. All right, these are somewhat cool, but really edgy and just kind of cringe. We have some decks from the Carnival series. We have the Death Heads. We got an Inferno deck, and we got a Dead Eyes deck. Super cringe. More cringe, we have the red 1800s deck. Whoa, dude, it looks so old. Oh my God. What is this, a deck from the 1800s? So stupid. We have a deck of asteroid playing cards, also garbage. We got a classic, also kind of cringe. We got an Archangels deck. We have a copper steampunk deck. We have an Avery deck. They're owls, but they're really ugly. And these are definitely the cringiest decks in my collection. We have the V1 and V2 of the Bicycle Alchemy decks. These somehow look like they were AI generated before AI was a thing. Just some of the most garbage, like hot topic deck of bad. What else? We got some Geminis. We have a black casino, we have a blue casino, we have a Superfly Stingray, we have a Superfly Spitfire. Those are my Gemini decks that are open. We got some Verts, we got 2 Fall Winter 17s, and we got the P1 Gray deck. We got some Art of Play decks that I missed. We have a red Wheels. We got some Just Type playing cards. Those are okay. We got a Theory 11 deck. We got a red High Victorian, also extremely ugly. These are really ugly and bad, and I hate them. Very throwback. We got some Empire Bloodlines, the green and blue deck from King's Wild Project. Also very cringe and bad. We got some Joker and Thief. We got the V2 logo deck. We have some Happy Sad, and we have the Victory deck. Tally Hose, we got a red fan back, and then we have a Blue Seal red circle back. Studs, we got some studs here, and by studs I mean one functioning deck of studs. I have a Jumbo Index red stud deck, very sick, love it, love to see it, gotta have it, love a stud. These are 2 Pinochle decks that I got through eBay before I knew what Pinochle were. They're not actual, they're not stud decks. It's like half the cards are like one single card. It's bad, they're bad. I also got these normal index cards with the jumbo. I actually ended up messaging the seller and I was like, you need to give me my money back. This deck was sealed, so no problems there. This deck was open, and it's not a deck of cards, you know? They're in horrible, horrible, awful, shitty poo condition, and I was very upset. Yeah, they're bad. They're very bad. They suck. We got a Black Knock, we got a Z deck, we got a 3-dot deck, we got an Aerodynamics. These are just all miscellaneous at this point. We got a Black Butterfly, we have a Gambling Frog, we got a Broken Mirror deck, we have a Touch Origin deck right here, we got an Isometric X deck, we have a Raspberry Mint deck, we have some Blue Saturns, and we got a deck of Wavy. We got some Boba playing cards. We have a Curved Mirror deck. We have a Misprint Flower deck. And we have a Futon Bear deck. We got one of those mega packs of Virginia Slim playing cards. We have this glow-in-the-dark Chris Cards Glow deck. We have a Shodu deck. This was an old school Kickstarter deck. Chris Ramsey, we got V1 and V2 first playing cards. And we got a Memento Mori, baby. Hate that deck. Oh, we got a B Fantastic deck. They look like this, but they're a blue seal deck, so they feel good. We have a diamond deck. These feel surprisingly good. The back design looks like a tribal tattoo from the early 2000s. They're really ugly. We have a Rattler deck. I don't know. We have this deck of cards called Oblique. This is definitely also a contender for ugliest deck of cards I've ever seen in my entire life. Got some Modern Field Nugs. We got 2 blue, 1 red. We have a deck of Don't Blink Magic Shop playing cards. Enter the System from Enter Beneath, or no, it's just called the System. I don't know, these are cringe as well. And then the rest I'd say are novelty fun decks. I have this deck of vintage duck playing cards. This was like a birthday present to me. They're not like a functional deck for cards or anything like that. It's just a cool vintage deck to have. I have these mushroom playing cards. I have these Japanese print playing cards. Actually, very, very sick deck of cards. Like, look at that back design. Oh, it's gorgeous, dude. We have a deck of Batman Returns bicycles. Also very sick. I love this deck. We have a deck of Hellboy playing cards. These are very gift shop-esque. Some more decks from that category. We have a Sin City and a Texas Chainsaw Massacre deck. Also very gift shoppy, like not good quality. I have a deck of Bugs Bunny bicycle playing cards. I have a Bicycle Playboy deck. These are pretty sick. I have a deck of Mr. Rogers playing cards. I have a Raw deck. I have a vintage deck of Camel playing cards from like the 70s or 80s. They're in this tin and they look like this. Bic. I got a deck of Bic playing cards. These are sick, dude. I have these motorcycle playing cards. This deck is 100 years old. 1906, these are Niagara Falls souvenir decks. This was given to me by my partner's family. They're gold gilded, pretty crazy. Yeah, it's just a cool piece of history to have, basically. And then we got a fucking Mind Freak deck. Are you ready? We fucking did it. Okay, everything is in its right place. What do you think? This is the official Card Corner setup. I know you've probably seen it already in some review videos, but you know, everything's nice and pretty, everything's organized, everything's put away, everything is counted. The moment you've all been waiting for, the question on the tip of your tongue. Jake, how many goddamn decks of cards do you have? Too many. Okay, disclaimer. I feel deep shame about this, okay? I'm not proud of how many I have. I thought I did such a good job this year. I got rid of a lot of decks, okay? I promise. But a good amount of those times, I just traded those decks in to get more decks. Oh God, I'm fucking sick. I'm sick in the head. But, all right, before I even tell you, let me just say, I've been collecting cards since I was 16 years old, okay? There was a large portion of my career buying and collecting cards, which is 11 years, by the way. A large portion of those 11 years, I didn't have bills, okay? I didn't have rent to pay. I bought a lot of cards when I was younger, okay? I will even say there was a period of time, a few years, where I didn't buy any cards at all, okay? I fell off. I didn't even do cardistry for a few years, okay? Now, it doesn't help that post-pandemic, I started a review channel and I've been buying cards to review. I just wanted to say that. I bought a lot of cards when I had no responsibility. And I've also bought a lot of cards when I did, okay? Shut the f up. Who are you to judge moi? All right, how many decks of cards do I have? I have, in total, all of them, every single deck, 815 decks of cards. Surprised me too. I ballpark reaching, I was like, maybe 500. I didn't write down the sealed and opened individual numbers. How many sealed decks do I have? I have this many. How many open decks do I have? I have this many. Let's go over the big guys, okay? Fontaine, pretty impressive split, actually, if I do say so myself. I have 105 sealed decks of Fontaine, and I have 106 open decks of Fontaine. That means I have 211 decks of fucking Fontaine alone. Other big boys missing. Also pretty good split here. I have 50 open decks and I have 54 sealed decks. Anyone? There's more of a gap. I have 47 open decks and I have 26 sealed decks of cards. You know, the first sheet that I tallied up was all of the miscellaneous decks, and I knew I was in trouble when I counted all of these and I got 246 decks on one sheet of paper. Has this made me reevaluate my life? A little bit, yeah. Am I gonna slow down? Probably not. Listen, okay, I'm a one deck boy now, okay? For the most part, I am a one deck boy, okay? The new missing beam cards, those are very cool and special. I got 2 decks, okay? Cool special decks, I'll get 2 of. But for the most part, the decks that I get from my reviews, I'm buying one, okay? I'm a one deck boy now, okay? I am proud of myself for that. That's what I get. A little pat on the back. Thank you guys so much for watching this downward spiral of my mind. If you like this video, please like it. I spent so much goddamn time on this video and counting cards. Please, it costs you nothing. Like this goddamn video. As always, if you'd like to see more playing card content and reviews, you should subscribe. You can even hit the bell button to get notified when new videos drop. Let me know down below, how many decks do you have? Do you have 815 decks? Do you not have 815 decks? Would you like to have 815 decks? Send my channel to a card enthusiast. If you're curious as to the exact amount of decks to the T, I'm going to make a Google Sheets form. You can check it out if you want to. I definitely didn't touch upon everything in this video. Not everything was recorded. So if you'd like to look over the exact full list, there you go. It's gonna be in the description. Is this an exact number? Who knows? I may have miscounted as I was literally losing my mind. You never know if there's another deck somewhere in a box or in a bag that I'm unaware of, you know? But for now, my name is Jake Jarvis and I have 815 fucking decks of cards.